Welcome to another installment of This Is Not Normal on the Political Drain podcast with Drill Sergeant Doug, aka Admin Doug, a U.S. Army veteran, teacher, musician, and family man from Jamaica, now fights for justice and democracy through commentary and humor. Follow him on YouTube at Political Drain and at Sons of Liberty Official as Drill Sergeant, aka Admin Doug, continues to protect our freedoms.
If you threaten veterans with their benefits, to silence them and say you can't say whatever you want, this is what's going to happen. There's going to be millions of veterans utilizing their skill set. Some veterans, much like myself, is still fully mission capable, still proficient in his warrior task and drills.
What's up, YouTube? Drill Sergeant here. And that intro that you just saw is a dude responding to the story that's going around that Hegseth, Trump, and this entire devilish administration is basically saying they're going to take away benefits from veterans who are speaking out against the administration. And it's presented like this. This is what is being presented, and it's actually, this time it's going to be coming from one of my favorite creators, Afro Think Tank. Check them out when you get a chance, but here it is.
What's going on, right? It's Afro Think Tank. Donald Trump betrays veterans by taking away their benefits. Yes, Donald Trump has betrayed the veterans of America. You know, the ones who he, like G.I. Joe characters, have no problem just throwing out there into an illegal, irresponsible war, getting them killed for his own personal ego. So keep in mind, Barack Obama fixed this whole entire issue when he made a deal that the entire world agreed with. We were done with the issue, but because Donald Trump is a racist, and simply because he's jealous of Barack, keep in mind, all this because a white man is jealous of a black man. Donald Trump, the white man, is jealous of Barack Obama's accomplishments. And what he saw was a black man and a Persian man make a deal in front of the world stage that everybody agreed with, and it was successful.
Now look, he's not wrong. He is not wrong, but he's not exactly correct. What I mean by that is, this is not a policy. This isn't a policy that has come out. This isn't just something that has been signed that they're taking away. And that's kind of how it's been presented. He's not wrong, but the actual story comes from the military.com, the aftermath of the Mark Kelly thing. That you don't know that one? Well, yeah, Mark Kelly is the guy who told all the veterans that they don't have to follow illegal orders, and there's been a big blow up since then. And so Hegseth and the Tangerine Tornado have decided to go after him. And in his defense, there was a video made by a bunch of other veterans that are saying, you can't do this. You cannot indict this guy. You can't bring him to court-martial for speaking freely. And what I'm going to do is show you that video so you see what it's about. It's not a new policy. This is in response to that, but it gets worse. So just stay tuned for the real story.
Ken Harbaugh, I served as a U.S. Navy pilot.
My name is Bobby Jones, Commander, United States Navy, retired.
Mike Smith, retired U.S. Naval Aviator.
Christopher Goldsmith, Sergeant, United States Army.
My name is Corey Hargrave, Staff Sergeant in the United States Army.
Melissa Corrigan, Petty Officer, 2nd Class, United States Navy.
I want to talk about Senator Mark Kelly for a minute.
Right now, our government is threatening to court-martial him.
For a video that reminded service members to uphold their oaths to the country and Constitution.
And to resist obeying unlawful orders.
This is a targeted attack from the executive branch and from the Department of Defense against a fellow veteran and an honorable American.
They are trying to influence our military to serve the president, not the Constitution and not the American people.
Undermining that tears at the very fabric of our democracy.
We must call this attack on Senator Kelly for exactly what it is.
An assault on the military's integrity and an attempt to push a wedge between our service members and the citizens they protect.
That's exactly right. It is horrible for everything that they just said, but it is bigger. It is bigger. And it's even going to affect people like you numbnut, knuckle-dragging vets turned MAGA D riders somehow. But the first thing you need to know is that the division that she was talking about, it's already working. Look at this. Yeah, what you're seeing is responses to the time when Big Sarge and I spoke in D.C., talking about remove the regime, talking about restoring the rights to all Americans, talking about stopping the use of locking people up without due process. These things are in the Constitution. And this is what I get in response. Traitors, every single one of them on stage. That's me, the veteran that these MAGA people love so much. Fuck all goddamn traitors. Fuck you all, the vitriol, terrorists. Yeah, see, he's turned an entire portion of this country who are incel, idiot cult members into this, who used to be all for the troops and who celebrated Memorial Day, no doubt, because now they have to reconcile with the fact that the orange maniac in charge is starting more wars. And in order to be in the cult and to stay in the cult, they have to do this. But even more importantly than this crap and these cowards who never served a day in their life, even more importantly than that is, after the video of those veterans speaking freely, in that same article on military.com, this is what Afro Think Tank was talking about. The rest of the article gives the warning. This part where he says on Monday, I think it's Keg's Breath they're talking about, saying they're going to be looking into Mark Kelly some more, as if there's any more you can look into, that there's going to be thorough investigations. But then right down here at the end of the article, this is where he says, now it's widened. Now the investigation has been widened into all the people in that video, veterans, not a part of the government in any way, speaking freely as citizens. Now they're going to be investigated. That part right there is the threat to all veterans to take away your benefits like they're trying to do for Mark Kelly if you decide to speak out against the government. It's authoritarianism. That's king shit. We don't like that here. And for the rest of you, MAGA, numbskull, knuckle dragon idiots, red hat wearers who used to be brothers in arms, that's going to affect you, because you can bet that this lying, cheating child who shits himself doesn't see any of us as Americans, doesn't see any of us as people, actually. We're all just things that he can use to wage enough war to compensate for his tiny dick. And that's a whole lot of war. It's a whole lot of compensating for that little mushroom. It's not going to stop. All of us are just things.
The United States, as the world knows, will never start a war. We do not want a war. We do not now expect a war. This generation of Americans has already had enough, more than enough, of war and hate and oppression.
I'm going to bomb the shit out of them. It's true. I don't care. I don't care.
Like I said, he doesn't care. That first guy there, that's called a president. That second pile of almost dead orange skin cells attached to a pee bag on his leg is the thing you voted for. You MAGA veterans, you people who've turned against your own oath to support white supremacy, who've given it all up. That's who you decided to put in office instead. And you see, this is important. A sociopath and his Keg's Breath henchmen, they won't stop with just sending you to die, but then only take rights away from the veterans that you don't agree with. You're next. You're next. America, we all are. If you haven't noticed, here's the real consequences of that division that she was talking about. Yeah, see, fuck all vets. All vets suck. Most vets never did anything. They're talking about you. Those are your neighbors. Those are the people that voted with you to get your cult member. But as I said before, now in order to wrap their brains around, to stop that cognitive dissonance from hurting themselves too badly, they're willing to turn on you in a dime. They never said anything about the guys on stage. That's all vets. They'll turn on you as fast as they turn on themselves and their family members, because they're in a cult and you voted for it. Here's some more of the actual real consequences of that stupid war he started for his own ego.
And the human and economic bills that we're forced to pay for this boondoggle are obscene. Military Times reported that 13 U.S. service members had been killed, 381 wounded in the first 40 days of Operation Epic Fury, based on CENTCOM data. Let's not forget the dozens of drones and U.S. aircraft that we lost, or the massive amount of missile stockpiles that we expended. The Financial Times reported that Americans had paid more than $40 billion in added fuel costs since the war began, whilst the Democratic Joint Economic Committee analysis put the first month's extra gasoline burden at $8.4 billion. That is what MAGA strength cost. Dead Americans, wounded troops, higher gas prices, inflation pressure, shattered credibility, and a government now trying to sell a diplomatic retreat as if it were the Normandy landings. Trump did not make America feared. He made American families finance his tantrum at the pump. He made this failure of an administration look like an even bigger joke. And even the cultist bootlickers and shields and cucks are struggling to spin this.
And because he's a racist piece of shit, this is how racist, has consequences, right? Because he's a racist piece of shit, he trashed that deal, created a problem, now he's trying to fix that problem, right? And while he's trying to fix a problem he created, right, he got our troops killed unnecessarily. They're currently continuing to be attacked right now, being maimed, right? Because Iran has no choice but to defend itself, which it has due right to, because the United States of America is really and truly the United States of Israel, because Donald Trump is a Israel puppet all the way. And because of that, right, we are creating more reasons to celebrate Memorial Day.
Yeah, that's the real cost. That's what you voted for. And all those MAGA cult members that you thought were your friends, this is what they really think of you as soon as they're told to by the orange Julius Caesar they worship. You're nothing. You're nothing to them or him. So that's the full story. Now you have the full story. It was presented in a way that was misleading. This is not a policy. It's a trajectory. And by the reporting, anybody who makes a video supporting Mark Kelly, who's a veteran, anybody who makes a video or speaks out on this platform against the regime can get their benefits taken away. And they're taking it to court, so they mean it. So now that you know the real story, YouTube, I expect to see you guys for 7 days in D.C., starting June 28th, all the way through July 4th, celebrating the 250th year of this country that has its flaws, but it's not supposed to be going backwards. It's supposed to be living up to its dream. And we're going to be doing direct action. We're going to be learning how to protest as well with classes. We're also going to be doing some fun stuff as well to make sure that we're all together as a community. And we're doing stuff for veterans on the 3rd. It's going to be a big Veterans Day. I'll be speaking. I hope to see you all there. But in the meantime, while they're thinking about taking veterans' rights away for speaking out against the government, I have something that I'd like to say to the White House, to the administration. It goes something like this.
Happy Friday! And if you're a veteran, get ready to get pissed off because Pentagon is after your First Amendment.
Good morning, good morning. First video of the day. I'm running late, right? Normally I'm up kicking out shit, but it's one of them days. So this message is for the Pentagon. Good morning, my name is Matthew Chappelle. I'm a retired non-commissioned officer. I'm not gonna hold you up, I just wanna let you know something. If you threaten veterans with their benefits, to silence them and say you can't say whatever you want, this is what's going to happen. There's going to be millions of veterans utilizing their skill set. Some veterans, much like myself, is still fully mission capable, still proficient in his warrior task and drills, and still possesses the skill set to walk into any fucking house and unalive everyone in that bitch, to include pets.
Also, direct action means maybe you need to be throwing some dildos. I didn't say throwing, I'm sorry, holding, playing. The dildo distribution people. Yeah. You haven't seen them? Go to closertotheedge.com. I'm going to put the link in there that shows you the whole thing that they're doing. It's amazing. But they're using these, and they've got thousands of them now because they realize that they're so effective at warding off these ICE agents at Whipple in Minneapolis. And now around the nation, they're giving these away to people. They're passing them out because that absurdity in the face of this toxic masculinity seems to be the one thing that gets these ICE agents to back off. It actually works. So I want to help them get those donations for the thousands that they've bought. Also, the thousands were donated to them as well. But for the ones that they bought, they need to get that money back, and they need to keep this going because it's working. If nothing else, just to piss off those ICE agents. Email me, politicaldrain@proton.me. politicaldrain@proton.me. You email me, say, I want to donate, and I will give you the instructions on how to do so, because the time to fight is now. Hey, yeah, you. Before you click away to watch someone unbox a tactical toothbrush, let's talk about something real. Political Drain isn't just another content mill. We're a digital front in a very real war. Not with bullets, but with ideas, with action, and with solidarity. We pair urgent news with critical education. And we build community around actual resistance, not the hashtag kind, the kind that moves. But here's the thing, none of this is free. It isn't. Behind every video is time, labor, research, and some weird guy asking if we're gonna pay the hosting bill. And yeah, some of that money goes to things we can't necessarily say out loud. If you know, you know. Let's just say our special ops aren't Call of Duty LARPers. They're people making real moves to protect, uplift, and organize. You're not just funding a channel. You're funding a resistance network in a world where capital still calls the shots. Unfortunately, in a system built on artificial scarcity, even mutual aid has a price tag. And if we want to grow, if we want to win, we need your help. We need your help. So if you've got even a few bucks to spare, toss it our way. It's not for ads, it's not for merch drops, but for people making moves in the shadows so others can do it in the light. It's just us and you. So fund the mission, fund the fight, fund the future, because nobody's coming to save us. We save each other. That's how this works.
That was the Political Drain podcast, which can be heard on www.groovechillradio.com/political-drain and can be viewed on the Political Drain YouTube channel anytime. Once again, thank you for listening to Groove Chill as we resist fascism in any form, pursue democracy, peace, and love.